I can't tell you how excited I am. The Red Arrows have just landed behind me after doing their new display for their 60th Diamond season for the very first time. We get to be here to see that. We also get to go and interview Red 10 Squadron Leader Muscat to find out all about the Diamond Anniversary season and some of the coins that are being released to mark this special occasion. Come with me to the hangar, we'll go and have a chat with you. I have the privilege today to be here in the Red Arrows hangar, and it's a great privilege to be here on their 60th anniversary, their Diamond year performing, and I have with me Musky. He's Squadron Leader Muscat, his formal name. And Musky, can I ask you, what is the role of Red 10?
Red 10, so I'm actually the team supervisor. So if you've ever been to an air show and you've ever heard the commentary, that's me. I give the commentary to the public during the air show, let them know what's going on with the team, what's going on with the display, get your eyes in the right direction so you do not miss a single second of the display. But predominantly my role is actually the team supervisor. I'm there to make sure that the team are safe, they adhere to the rules and regulations that we have to do so, but also to provide that great spectacle that the Red Arrows are known for.
And of course we're here primarily because it's the 60th anniversary, the Diamond display year. Can I ask what kind of special events you've got planned?
Well, you can see behind me straight away from the aircraft, we have our 60 emblem on both the fuselage and the tail. So it's great to straight away demonstrate our 60th anniversary with the aircraft. In addition to that, we've got a few maneuvers in the show that relate back to the 60th anniversary, as well as through the whole 60 years of the team. And then hopefully later on in the year, we can put a small gathering together or a small party and just celebrate how significant that 60 display seasons is for the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows.
Will it be a small party? Should be a big party, shouldn't
Probably
it?
going to be a big party,
yeah. I imagine so. And of course, to celebrate this special milestone, we've got this brand new 50p piece issued for the Reds Diamond display season. The lead coin is the one you're holding. It's depicting one of the jets flying over the Tower Bridge in London. What do you think of the design?
I think it's amazing. That's the first time obviously I've seen it. I think the detail on the Hawk, on the Tower Bridge, and with the 60 behind is absolutely fantastic. I can keep that one, right? No, that is really nice. It's really nice. Really nice coin. And I think that'll go down really well with the public, actually.
Yeah,
that'll be really good.
And the public are going to be really enamored with this. You know, 60 years, that we are super proud of the Red Arrows. And there's more coins in that set. You've got the London one. There's also one that includes Edinburgh and Cardiff and Belfast and Jersey. Have you ever personally flown over any of those locations? Or?
I have actually, yeah. We fly over the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo over Edinburgh every year. We operate from Cardiff for a number of our displays, so we've flown over Cardiff. I haven't personally flown over Belfast, but we'll be hopefully displaying near Belfast this year for the Armed Forces Day. And we do display in Jersey every year as well. So yeah, we've been to all those locations and they're all absolutely wonderful.
Okay, we've been supporting the RAF for quite a long time, as I'm sure you know, but this is a very special release for us to be able to mark the 60th Diamond milestone for the Red Arrows. There's two that I'm particularly excited about. It's the special silver edition of the 50p's. They're going to be in 200 covers, which I think you're going to put on a plane for us to be flown.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And even more exciting are the 9 sets of gold 50p pieces. Now these 9 sets are going to be in the flight suit of the pilot as they do the trooping of the colour this year. It's quite an unusual thing for me. Have you ever heard of anything like that before?
I haven't flown coins, but I have flown teddy bears and flags while on operations. It's generally a thing that most people, certainly the Americans, like to do. You take a teddy bear, you fly it on operations over war zones, you get a certificate to sign that your teddy bear or flag has flown over war zone. But I've never flown coins, but flying those gold coins over the Troop of the Colour, over Buckingham Palace and over the King will be a very special occasion, and I'm sure whoever gets hold of those coins will be very grateful for such a very rare piece of history.
Absolutely. And the Trooping the Colour, of course, I imagine that's quite a big day in the calendar for the Red Arrows. Is there special preparations for that? How do you get ready for a day like that?
Luckily, the Red Arrows, it's something that we do every year, so we're very used to it. And luckily, the path into London, the flight path into London is a very well-trodden path. So the preparation, whilst it is detailed, because it has to be planned, including all the other aircraft, for us at the Red Arrows, and we're generally at the back, it's actually kind of, normal business. However, what I don't want to do is take how special it is to fly over London, fly over your capital, and certainly fly over your monarch. I was very fortunate to fly over the Queen in the Platinum Jubilee, and I was very fortunate to fly over the King in his Trooping of the Colour last year, because we weren't a full 9, so I filled in as Red 8 on Queen's Platinum Jubilee, and I filled in as Red 9 for the Troop Under the Colour last year. And it's not a role that Red 10 normally does, so I've been very fortunate to do that in the last 2 years. I won't do it this year because we're back up to the 9, but it was very special and a great honour to fly over our capital and our Monarch.
And you're standing in front of one of the Red Arrows, and that's the Hawk aircraft, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's the Hawk T Mark 1.
Right, and I've been a symbol of the Red Arrow for many years, of course. Could you share how long it's been used by the team and what makes this aircraft so special?
Absolutely, yeah. So we started off the team in the Folland Nats, and then in about 1980, we transitioned to the Hawk. So the Hawk's been around for the Red Arrows for a long time. Of course, predominantly it's a training aircraft, hence why you've got 2 seats in the cockpit. However, the Hawk T Mark 1 is a great aircraft to fly. Everyone describes her as a little sports car. You know, you can throw her around the sky. She's very responsive. She's great. She's light on the field, and she's perfect for the role of what the Red Arrows do, doing those low-level aerobatics and fast dynamic maneuvers.
I'm sure you get asked this question quite a lot, but can you describe what it's like when you're flying one of these Hawks for the Red Arrows to a layman like me? What does it feel like?
I guess it's the first time you've been on the most scariest roller coaster in your life. You know, there's G, which you experience on a roller coaster. It's fast, it turns, and you come off a little bit kind of jelly-legged, but extremely excited that you want to go and do it again. And that's what it's like. You strap the aeroplane on, like I say, strap the aeroplane on. You go and fly. You do all these high-speed maneuvers and tricks and stunts. And as soon as you land, you debrief. You're like, right, let's go and do it again, because it's an absolute buzz. It gives you an adrenaline buzz. It gets you excited. It gets you pumped, and it's a great feeling to fly as part of the display. Most
people watching will have had experience on a roller coaster. They last 30 seconds. You go up in this for 20 minutes, 25, or an hour and a half on you doing your hops. I mean, that must take some endurance.
It takes endurance. I mean, most of us trying to stay relatively fit, but also we've got a lot of training and a lot of years of experience behind us. And when it comes down to it, it's that fall back on experience and seeing familiar issues or familiar problems that we fall back on. And it is a testament to the training that the RAF give you as a fast jet fighter pilot to be able to then carry that forward into pretty much every situation that might come up.
That's great. And of course, the Hawk is no longer in production, is it? So can I ask, how do you keep these maintained with it not being produced anymore?
You're correct, the Hawk is no longer made in production. However, luckily there are a lot of aircraft around the RAF. We've used them for many years, as I said, since 1980. And so a lot of aircraft out there that we can take spares from. And in addition to that, we have our engineering, which do a phenomenal job of keeping the Hawk in service and being able to source parts for the aircraft to keep them flying in the rate that we do.
And were any of the Hawks that still get used with the Red Arrows today, were they used in combat at all?
A long time ago, the Hawk was predominantly used, as I said, it's always a trainer. There was a notion that the Hawk could be used as a last line defence, but none of the aircraft that we have ever used that role. It's a role that maybe have been looked at in the past, but predominantly the Hawk has always been a training aircraft through its history.
And then obviously you're in a very talented team, always have been a very talented team. What are the qualities that you look for when selecting new Red Arrows pilots?
Well, there's actually a number of prerequisites that the pilots must have. They must have at least 1,500 hours. They must be assessed as above average in the air, and they also must have done a complete frontline fast jet tour and operations as well. And then we take a long selection process to develop them to join the team. But predominantly we're looking for somebody who is experienced, talented, ambitious, determined, and is a great team player, because teamwork is absolutely essential to what we do on the Red Arrows.
And you detailed some of the steps there and the prerequisites. Is being in combat one of the prerequisites to becoming a Red Arrows pilot?
Yes, combat experience is absolutely essential, because one of the things that we like to do is generate and promote awareness about the RAF. And one of those things is obviously taking combat experience from operations and talking to the general public or talking out in forums about our open and frank discussion about operations and what we've done, and potentially, and as I said, promote the RAF.
Of course, the Red Arrows are famous worldwide for their stellar displays. Can I ask you for your maybe one memory of your favourite display you've ever been involved in?
I mean, we've done so many shows, but I think one of them that sticks out to me is 2022. We did a tour of the Middle East and over the cityscape of Abu Dhabi. The display was phenomenal. It was set back against the cityscape, but we also did a display, well, not a display, we did a fly past with the Airbus A380 over Dubai, and I photo chased that one with my photographer. And that was phenomenal to see the size of the aircraft of the A380 over the Burj in Dubai, surrounded by Red Arrows, was just phenomenal. So yeah, I get to see some very unique sights. I'm very, very privileged.
Wow, incredible. When you say you photo chased, you were in a plane
Yes, one of my jobs is actually, I have a photographer in the back of the seat, in the back of the aircraft, and when we display, either through a display or when we do fly past, my job is to position the aircraft in the right place in the sky, not disturbing the display, so the photographer can get those airborne, iconic airborne images or video from a different perspective so the crowd can see it.
Fantastic. And we've seen today for the first time the very new display for the Diamond season. Can I just ask you, you've obviously put in some old maneuvers from previous displays and some new ones. Can you tell me a bit about those and why you brought them in?
Yes, absolutely. You know, one of this, certainly the start of the second half, we do something called the 5-4 split. I don't think this has been seen since the early 2000s, so maybe way back as 2001, 2002. It's a very unique way where the team will split into 5, the front section, and 4, the back section, and they will cross to start the second half. There's a few of the manoeuvres in there which are brought back from the past, but also there's some favourites in there as well, like so Tornado is one of the crowd favourites, that's in there. And there's also some throwbacks to some of our iconic shapes and also points in our history which the crowd will really get on board with, I think.
Elliot, what's your favourite manoeuvre?
There's so many, but I mean, Tornado is great. There's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of colour. It's very dynamic, and I think I'm with the crowd on that one. Tornado is one of the good ones to see.
Like me, most of the public are going to turn up at your displays this year, and we see the display, but we don't really get to grips with how much goes on behind the scenes. So what kind of preparation goes into a brand new display like we're going to see this year?
It's a long process. You know, we're coming towards the end of our winter training now, albeit we have another 6 or 7 weeks where we're going to go overseas and really perfect that training. Well, this starts way back in October, where we take our new pilots, usually Reds 2, 3 or 4, or 2, 3 or 5, and then it's 3 on the wing of the Red 1, and he'll slowly build them up into loops and rolls, and then we'll add more numbers on, and we grow that formation. In addition to that, the Synchro pair and Hannah, which is part of Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9, they'll work themselves down from 1,000 feet all the way down to 100 feet. So it's a building block approach. We start small, we build it bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where we're at now, where we do all 9 together, we run through the show, and we'll run that through all the way for the next 6 to 7 weeks before we get our public display authority. So it's a massive task. In addition to that, the engineering side of the house, you know, they're preparing the aeroplanes, they go all for their servicing all through the winter so that we don't have to do servicing throughout the summer. So it's a massive team effort through the winter, as well as battling the weather to get the team and get the display absolutely spot on for the public come the air show season.
You've really had to battle the weather this winter.
We have, yes.
It's never ending.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you about team dynamics, if that's okay, because squadron leader John Bond, who's Red 1, I believe, is that correct?
He is Red 1, yes.
Yeah, he's really emphasised teamwork when talking about the 60th anniversary displays. Can I ask you what teamwork means to the Red Arrows?
So obviously selection goes into that. We have to make sure that everyone we select is a team player and is good with teamwork. But again, it all comes back to that preparation. You know, the guys, they brief, they fly, they debrief. It's an honest debrief. You won't hear them using names in a debrief. They'll use numbers. That takes the person out of it, so it doesn't become personal. And it's all about accepting that constructive criticism, owning your own mistakes, knowing that you've done something wrong or something maybe not up to the right level, and therefore you take ownership of that, and working as a team. And it's a trust as well in the team. So when they do the moves from one shape to another, they have to have trust that the person on the outside is going to move at the right time. And so they have to make sure that everything works in synergy and it works, and teamwork is key. In addition to that, teamwork through across the whole team, engineering, public relations, ops, all that absolutely is key. I relate the Red Arrows to the workings of a clock or a watch, that every single cog is absolutely vital. One of those cogs drops out, the whole machine doesn't work. And that's how we work on the Red Arrows.
I suppose that teamwork and, like you say, that trust has to be built, because how close do these planes get to each other?
They're within about 6 feet of each other, wingtip to wingtip.
So you could, theoretically, you could stand on one plane and touch the other plane?
Yeah.
I'm not tall enough, but if you were 6 foot tall?
In theory, either top to bottom or wingtip to wingtip, yes.
Right, a lot of trust needed. And this year, in the 60th anniversary year, you're going on a 5-week international tour, including the centennial of the Royal Canadian Air Force, of course. Can I ask you though, what kind of preparation goes into these tours, and why are they really important to the Red Arrows?
Well, actually, it's a massive undertaking. A lot of people think we box the aircraft up into bigger aircraft and fly them over. That we actually don't. We fly them all around the world. You know, this team has been to pretty much every country in the world. It's certainly been as far as down as Australia and China, and we're going all the way over to, we have been over all the way to the west coast of America. As you say, we're going off to Canada. We actually fly the aircraft there. So we'll go from here to Stornoway to Iceland to Greenland before we then reach Canada. It's a massive undertaking, it's a massive operation, backed up by the entire Royal Air Force with our air transport and our search and rescue assets. The P8s from Lossiemouth will come with us as well. And it's a huge undertaking, but it's something that is absolutely crucial, not only to the Royal Air Force, but UK promoting global trade, global industry. We literally fly the red, white and blue in the sky with our smoke. We have the Union flag on our tail, we have the Union flag on our red suits, and we promote the red, white and blue and the Union of Great Britain all across the world. And it's absolutely vital for diplomatic, engineering, and all those sort of relations that we can generate across with all those countries across the world.
It brings a lot of value, doesn't it?
It brings huge value. You know, it's not lost that we generate a huge amount of trade and industry just by being part of the Royal Air Force, the Red Arrows, and as I said, flying that Union flag and promoting global Great Britain.
And the Red Arrows, I'm led to believe, is probably the only flight display team that do go literally around the world.
Yes, I mean, obviously other teams do go to different countries, but we're the only one. The North American teams generally stay in North America, maybe come to Europe, but we generally go all across the world. As I said, we've been as far as the West Coast of America, and we've been as far down as Australia. I think the only country we can't get to is New Zealand, because the hop between Australia and New Zealand is just a little bit too big. It's a little bit too large for us to make.
How many hops from the UK to Australia?
I believe it's about 30 or 35.
30, 35.
Don't quote me on it though.
An hour and a half, then 2 hour layovers each time?
Yeah. I think it was fragged to take about 3.5 weeks to get down there.
Wow, okay. I'm sure it was worth it. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, unfortunately, not in my time. Okay. I would like to go down there though.
Now I know from personal experience, and the public knows, that the Red Arrows are really inspirational. But I wanted to ask you today, who is your inspiration?
Oh, I've got lots of people that are inspirational to me. I mean, I've got aviation people like Ray Hanna. He was part of the team. He's a massive aviation legend across all RAF agencies. But you know, I'm going to go close to home. It's actually my dad. You know, he has worked hard all his life to provide for his family, and he worked hard, and that's where I get my work ethic from. Work hard, determination, just be the best you can be, and that's what I promote onto my son as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Moving on a little bit, when you're on the ground and you see the team doing a display, what is your favourite kind of show? Maybe one or two places where you've thought, this is incredible.
The shows vary. You know, you get your big air shows like RIAT, which is huge, but it's full of aviation people, and it's great. It's a great platform for us, and working alongside so many different aircraft and so many different display teams. And then you get places like Blackpool, where you're on the seafront and it's just families having a great day out with ice cream and hot dogs and burgers. And that's probably one of my favourite places to display at Blackpool. I'm from the northwest of England myself, so it's very close to home. The crowd is huge. You get a great weather day, and the buzz, and you can feel that excitement in the air. It's a very tangible, electric excitement that is put onto me by the crowd, then I'll convey to the team. And so, yeah, that's a real great display location to be at.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's what the Red Arrows, I think, for me are all about, is that buzz that you only get when you see them. And it's like a day out more than anything else. A couple of final questions. Obviously, behind you, you have the Hawk there, the Red Arrow, which is brilliant in red. But do you have another favourite colour, or is it red?
Well, I'm a little bit biased. Red is one of my favourite. I have two favourite colours. Red is one of them, and that has nothing to do with the Red Arrows. It's actually because I'm a Liverpool fan. So I'm a massive red. But actually blue, which Liverpool fans will not like because that's Everton. But I don't know. I've always liked the colour blue.
Okay, final question, and the all-important question: Top Gun, great movie or not so good movie?
It's very good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Top Gun, the original. You know, I was 10 when that first came out, so that was the first kind of glimpse into being a fighter pilot that inspired me to want to be a fighter pilot. But Top Gun Maverick was exceptionally exciting. We were very fortunate in 2022, the team met Tom Cruise at the Royal International Air Tattoo. A very, very nice, pleasant man, extremely interested in the Red Arrows, would love to come and fly with the Red Arrows. I think he's actually dying to fly with the Red Arrows. He's flown with the Thunderbirds, he's flown with the Blue Angels. So we'd love to fly with the Red Arrows, and yeah, but it's a great film. A little bit cheesy in times, but that's what the film needs. But some great air-to-air photography, some great airborne footage, and you can see how difficult it is flying those aircraft when the actors are really straining. You can see it in their face, But yeah, no, we all love it. It's a great film.
And I mean, I know it's cheesy. I love that movie, by the way, but it's quite real to life, quite real to what it actually feels like up there.
Yeah, and you know, no matter how much of CGI, you can see it in the actor's face when they're pulling that G, when their face is starting to strain, how hard it is to fly under G. So yeah, I think it's a great insight to how hard it is to fly in a fast jet.
And you, of course, don't have Maverick on your team, but you do have Bond. Red One is Squadron Leader Bond.
He is, yes.
Maverick or Bond, who would you prefer to be leading your team?
Bond every time.
Bond every time. Thank you very much for your time, Musky. It's been great to speak with you.
That's right.
And we wish you all the best in your 60th season.
Thanks very much, and I hope everyone enjoys this year's show. It's a phenomenal show, and it's really exciting, so I hope everyone gets to see it.
It has been great to be here at RAF Waddington to see the Red Arrow's brand new display for their 60th anniversary Diamond season. It's a display not to be missed. So if you get the chance, make sure you see them this year before it's too late. Also, don't miss out on the coins that are here to celebrate this milestone.